Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. Today we're going to talk about Steph Curry. Steph Curry apparently signed a new blockbuster deal with Under Armour, and I thought it would be fun to kind of talk about some of these sports deals and the pros and cons and how they all kind of work, and just why I think Steph Curry is going to be a billionaire by the time he is done. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under the B1 agreement. The B1 agreement is that we agree that our community comes first. The B1 agreement is that we put ourselves at the top of the priority list. B1 agreement means we are preparing our kids for the future so they don't end up becoming economic slaves in a racist capitalist society. If you agree with that, then please put a B1 in the chat. Put a B1 in the chat if you have not done that yet. All right, so let's talk about this. How many of you, give me a yes or no, how many of you saw the really interesting new deal between Steph Curry and Under Armour? How many of you even knew Steph Curry was endorsing Under Armour? I didn't. I'd forgotten about that. I knew that he was doing stuff, and I'd seen him around different places. I know his wife Aisha is very active and very productive in her own business, and I just really want to just sort of take a moment and give a shout out to Steph, because I feel like Steph is one of those guys who's going to probably be a billionaire in about 5 years. I think that Steph Curry, I don't know how old he is. I think he's about maybe 34, 35 now. I think that by the time he's 40, he will be a billionaire. And the reason I say that is because he's making certain moves that I want you to pay attention to, because this is how you do it. This is what you do. Like Montel Jordan said, this is how you do it. Right, remember that? Well, this is how you do it. This is how you take what you have and you turn it into something extraordinary, something great. And so while all of us can't necessarily become billionaires making these same moves, you could become a millionaire making these same moves. You could have $1 million in assets. I've seen it all. I've seen it a million times. I've seen regular people working regular jobs, doing regular stuff, have $1 million in net worth by the time they were 40 by making the right moves. My wife was one of those people who had her own money. I know the whole internet. When I got married to my wife, I don't know why all these people out the wood came out the woodwork, don't even know us, don't know nothing about us, speculating on our relationship. Oh, she married Dr. Boyce because of the money. She only wanted him because of the money. Y'all don't understand. My wife had her own money. Because she's always been a consistent investor. She had a smart daddy and a smart mama who taught her to invest in things like education. They taught her to put money in a 401k. They taught her to buy property at an early age. They taught her not to spend like a dummy, not to spend like a dummy, not to spend like a dummy. And next thing you know, she had money already. So it's really funny to me when we got married and all this stupid speculation. That's why I can't listen to the internet. The internet's full of like so many dumb people. I don't even respond to the nonsense because I only respond to people whose intelligence is above a certain pay grade. And I talk to you. I talk to intelligent Black people. Ignorant people, I just can't do it. It's I can't make myself dumb enough to even respect some of the nonsense that I see online. But anyway, let me keep going. So Steph Curry's deal, according to ESPN, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Steph Curry's new deal is what they consider to be a lifetime deal. He has a long-term extension with Under Armour that will extend beyond his playing days and into retirement. This deal comes with both money and equity, so he owns a piece of the company. And I think their revenue last year was about $1.5 billion. And he also gets a nice payment, in addition to his equity. So it says, although the exact terms were not disclosed, the agreement could be one of the richest ever endorsement deals in sports. Once annual base pay, stock equity, royalties on signature products, and on-court incentive bonuses are tallied. In fact, I think Curry is now the president of the Curry brand, which launched in 2020. And he will have the title of president, and he will receive additional resources to grow his namesake brand. Quote, we started with the signature business and with the opportunity to deepen the partnership with an expectation of it going past my playing days and the added investment in the great things that we both bring to the table. It's an exciting time to strengthen that relationship, said Curry, who's on his 10th signature sneaker deal or 10th signature sneaker with Under Armour. We understand it's a mutually beneficial venture to do some great things, build a great roster, build more scale to the business, and create great storytelling. All right, let me just kind of just stop for a moment and give you I'm a finance professor. That's what I do. and I and I see how the money flows, and I see all the dynamics that affect the economic outcomes of a given relationship. And I've seen certain deals up close. I spoke probably for 10 hours with Kanye West during the last All Black National Convention. He called me during the convention. He wanted to come, um, and honestly, not everybody wanted him to come. At the convention, at the same time, one of the other speakers at the convention was Larry Miller. Larry Miller was the president of the Air Jordan brand. Larry Miller is the guy who helped create the template that Steph Curry is trying to achieve. Larry is a great guy. He's a good brother. I love him to death. And he really set the benchmark, right? So whereas Curry might, generate 100 million a year off this deal, maybe 150 million, the Jordan brand, Michael Jordan by himself is generating about $5 billion a year for that brand, right? And he gets a chunk of that. I don't know, maybe a billion a year. I don't know. So Michael Jordan is going to be a mega, mega, multi mega, super mega, triple mega billionaire by the time he dies, and his grandchildren are going to be trillionaires. Okay, his grandchildren are going to become trillionaires with a T. Okay, so I remember during during the convention when Kanye called me and we talked about his Adidas deal. I talked to his accountants, his financial people. I saw the numbers. The numbers were astonishing. They were he is a cash cow for Adidas. I said, wow, Adidas really needs you, and they know it, and everybody knows it. The company started faltering when Kanye when they parted ways with Kanye. But one of the things I had to be honest about as I was considering whether or not Kanye was even a fit for the convention was the fact that I saw on one hand a guy who was doing the similar thing to Steph, using his brand to sell sneakers and doing it very well, but who wasn't necessarily the easiest business partner to work with because he was very demanding, a little bit, honestly, a little bit arrogant, a little out of pocket. Let's just say that. And then on the other hand, at that same convention was Larry Miller, who is the ultimate professional, who's incredibly humble. He's a decent, very solid, decent, high quality human being. He's not a person who's going to sit there with you and constantly rub it in your face that he's smarter than you and makes more money than you and all this other stuff. I have no idea how much money he has. I'm sure he's got a lot, but he does not carry that on his sleeve. He does not carry that ego, right? And even Michael Jordan, as confident as he is, understood the importance of being a consummate businessman. Do you follow what I'm saying? Give me a yes if you maybe see where I'm going with this. So with Steph Curry, what I like about Steph, what I see really working out well for Steph, is that Steph is a businessman. Steph is he understands that yes, Under Armour needs me, but I also need them. Yes, I'm bringing a whole lot to the table, but they're bringing a whole lot to the table. Yeah, I'm Steph Curry and I'm a bad SOB, but that's Under Armour, and that's an amazing corporation. That's a huge corporate partner that's going to help me and my family get to billionaire status by the time I'm done. See, he understands the mutuality of that relationship, and I'm gonna just tell you the honest to God truth. And I'm not. This is not me in any way dissing what Kanye was doing and all that. But I don't know if Kanye saw that. I think Kanye sees what he brings to the table, but I don't know if he sees what Adidas was bringing to the table in terms of cleaning up the Yeezy brand, fixing up his website, setting up his distribution systems, making sure that his product was being developed in a certain way. Now, I'm not saying everybody's got to go make these kinds of partnerships or that these are ideal. What I'm saying is that the one of the keys to doing business, Black people, is that I don't care how much money you're bringing to the table or how great you become. Never ever get to the point where you think you are always bigger than every business deal that you're a part of. If you can't sit down at that table in that relationship, whether it's a business deal, a marriage, a friendship, or any kind of partnership whatsoever, and you can't humble yourself at that table and show the kind of support and respect to others that you expect them to give to you, then that is a table you need to walk away from. You're obviously too big for that table. Maybe there's better tables for you to go sit at. So maybe with Kanye, when I heard Ye say something like, um, I don't listen to the CEO of Adidas because I don't listen to people who make less money than me. I remember thinking, I don't know if that's the right way to say it. I think that is, I think most men are going to be very, very offended if you talk to them that way. So I cannot, so the reason I'm talking about Steph Curry today, because I'm very proud of him. He seems so smart. His wife seems super smart. My wife loves his wife. If they ever meet, I don't know Steph. I know people that know him. I know D1. D1 knows Steph. Maybe one day we'll cross paths. And I'm gonna tell you, when we do cross paths, it'll be great because my wife, she even looks a little bit like his wife, and she just thinks what she's doing is awesome because they carry themselves in a way that says to me that they're going to be an extremely, extremely impactful royal family one day. Really what I challenge any of them to do is expand the size of your vision, expand the scope of your vision. Go beyond thinking, okay, how can I own a percentage of the Golden State Warriors? Maybe there's a way to actually start another basketball league that can compete with the NBA. Maybe there is remember that somebody created the NBA. They got together with their friends and said, let's create some teams and form a league and take care of each other. The Formula One Racing League is a group of teams where they all got together and said, okay, we're going to have a bunch of teams. We're not going to let anybody else in the group. We're going to do our little tour. We're going to race each other all around the world, and we're going to split the prize money. We're going to split the revenue that comes from the tickets of people coming to watch us race. The Harlem Globetrotters did this kind of thing with Abe Saperstein, and he saw all the talented basketball players that were in the Black community. So you can create your own stuff. You can create your own leagues. All the NBA is basically a group of brands that remain connected. They are an economic family that says, let's form a competition that people will pay money to see. And when people pay money to watch us compete with each other, we will split up that revenue. Anybody can create something like that. That is not hard to do. You could create that with your siblings, really. It just takes time. It takes brand building. It takes some sort of vision. It takes the commitment to structure. But I would just love to see at some point other associations. Thank you, Coco Cinderella. That's a great term to use. Associations develop within the Black community where you follow that same model. A bunch of groups, a bunch of teams competing with each other, and it's the same teams every year. So you can build those brands and get people connected to those brands, so they'll pay money to go watch those teams compete. And then every time a ticket gets sold, you're able to split that money. That's what the NBA does, and they just do it. They seem to do it extremely well because they've been doing it almost 100 years. The NFL's done it 100 years, but the Chicago Bears at one point were purchased for $100. The Green Bay Packers were purchased for like $50. So these teams were not always multi-billion-dollar franchises. Somebody turned them into that. So that's my 2 cents. I'm going to get out of here. Tonight, we're doing a stock options masterclass, or excuse me, it's not a masterclass. A masterclass is 6 weeks. It's going to be a training camp. So a training camp is 2 weeks in the Black Business School. So if you have an interest in stock options, you want to get started, there is a training camp. It's $199, and all the materials are yours for life. You also get free access to a whole mini class on stock options, so you can get started right away. So if you have an interest in stock options, I can show you, I can teach you, I can introduce you to all that. So just go to my website, boycewatkins.com, look for the stock options training camp, click on that, and you can join us there. Also, I'll be in Houston April 21st and 22nd for a 2-day Black Wealth Boot Camp. So if you'd like to join us in Houston, just go to boycewatkins.com. And last but not least, you guys know I have a new book called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. That is out on Amazon, and it is in the bestseller category. So I think you guys are going to like it a lot. I know the reviews are extremely good, and I know that I put my heart and soul into that book. All right, guys, so take care. Have a good day. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and I'll check back in with you a little bit later. Be good. Peace.